We are on to lesson 7 of unit 5. Our I can statement today is I can determine the part when given the whole and the percent. So today we're going to be figuring out what the part is. Last week we saw examples that looked like this. Remember, I did some highlighting. So we found the word is, and we said the number that goes with the is our part. And then we found the word of, and said of is a signal word for the whole. And then the percent was a little bit easier for us. We were looking for the percent sign. So we looked for these signals to help us figure out how to set a problem up. Today we're going to use those signals to solve for one of these things, right? So today we're not going to know that pink number. We're not going to know the part. Instead, we're going to have to figure out what it is. All right, so notice a couple differences here. One of the biggest differences is that there's a question mark. It's not just a statement. We are being asked to do something, right? I can see the word is. I'm going to grab my pink. I can see the word is, but if I highlight what comes after it, I see that it says 25 with the percent sign. That means that 25 cannot be the part, because if there's a percent sign, then it has to be the percent. So here's our percent, 25%. Right. Then we have the word of right after that, and there's our signal of 20. So take a look at what is really different. The part that's still left says what number is. So all of this goes together, but the difference is I don't know the number. It does not tell me a number. Instead, it uses the word what. The word what is a question mark. That's what we have to solve for. We have to solve for the part because it doesn't give us a number to go with the word is. Now that I know that I'm solving for the part, I'm bringing in a percent bar for a tape diagram. So we talked about how on the upper left side, we'd have 0%. And then if we got all the way to the other side, if we filled in that whole bar, it would be 100%, because 100% means the whole thing. So I need to find where 25% is. But there's more information here, right? I can see that of the whole is 20. That means that it's 20 something. Maybe it's 20 M&Ms. Maybe it's 20 students in a synchronized class. Right? The whole is 20. I know that 100% is also the whole. So that means 20 goes underneath 100%. Do you see how they match up? Right? 100% means the whole and 20 also means the whole. That means both of these numbers have to go at the end of the bar. 0% on the other side means none, and the number that means none is 0. All right, now we need to think about what 25% means. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. I'm finding the 25% because that was the percent in this problem. Right? So I'm going to write 25% as a fraction. 25% equals 25 hundredths, 25 on top of 100. So I could split that bar into 100 parts, but I don't want to. So instead, I'm going to find the greatest common factor of 25 and 100, and hopefully we're starting to really think about quarters. So I'm going to divide 25 by 25, and I'll get the answer 1. 1 quarter, which is worth 25 cents. You need 1 quarter to make 25 cents. On the bottom, I'm also going to divide by 25. If I want 100 cents and each quarter is 25 cents, then I need 4 quarters. So I'm going to use this fraction instead, because if I use this fraction 1/4, if I use that fraction instead of this one, I get to cut my bar above into 4 parts because it's the denominator. If I use this fraction, I have to cut it into 100. That sounds terrible. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to divide this bar into 4 parts to the best of my ability. So in half, and in half, and then in half, pretty close. And then I'll put the numbers in. Here's the first part, here's the second part, here's the third part, here's the fourth part. All right, so now I'm going to look back at this fraction. I have 4 parts total. Now I'm going to look just at the numerator. That's how many I need to color in. So I'm going to color in that first part. This has to be 25%. But also remember that we divided by 25. Let me go back and highlight that. Because we divided by 25, that's going to be our counting number as we go across for the percents. So on the top, we're going to count by 25s. So I have 0 on the left, plus 25 is 25. 25% plus 25 is 50%, plus 25 is 75%, plus another 25 gets me to 100. But for the bottom numbers, this is a big difference today. We're going to fill in these bottom numbers, but it's not plus 25. Because if I did that, I'd get 25, 50, 75, and then 20? That doesn't make sense. So let me get rid of those, and let's think instead that number at the very end on the bottom is 20. The whole bar got split into 4 parts. So to figure out what to count by on the bottom, I'm going to take the whole 20 and I'm going to divide it into 4 equal parts. So I know if I skip count by 5, 10, 15, 20, I need 4 5s to make 20. So this number 5, this number here is what we're going to count by. So 5 goes there. If I add 5, I get 10. If I add 5, I get 15. All right, we've done all the work, but we haven't answered the question. The question says, what number is 25% of 20? To find that answer, I'm going to find where 25% is on my bar. Here it is. Zoom, 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 zoom. Here's 25%. Put a box around it. Go straight down. 25% is 5. So the answer is 5. One more example, and because it's the second example, I'm going to go a little quicker. I'm going to start by saying I see a percent sign, and in front of that is 30%. So we're going to color in 30% of the bar below. I also see the word of, and behind the word of is 80. That means this whole bar is going to be 80. Immediately, I'm going to put 80 underneath at the end, because that's the whole, and 0 down on the other side. On top is the percent, so we're going to write 0% and 100%. All right, that means, here's the word is, this should be where our question lies. Yep, it says what number, there is no number with it, so that means that's what we're going to solve for. So I'm going to go back to the percent, which was 30%. I'm going to write it down below. 30% is the same as 30 on top of 100. I'm going to move this down a little bit because I know it's going to get in the way. As I look at 30 and 100, there's a 0 on the end, there's a 0 on the end, so I can divide both numbers by 10. All right, there are 3 10s in 30, there are 10 10s in 100. Now the only number I can divide 3 by is itself and 1. And 3 is not a factor of 10. If I count by 3, I'm going to skip over 10, so I'm done. That means that I need to now make 10 parts. That's the denominator. I need to make 10 parts in my bar. So let's give that our best shot. 5 on each side means 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 5 parts. And if I make 4 more lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was to the best of my ability. All right, so that matches our denominator. And our numerator is 3, so that means I'm going to color in 3 of these. Okay. Now I need to find the number to count by on the top for the percents. And remember, that's just the number that we divided by. We divided by 10. So that's what I'm going to count by on the top for the percents. That's not so bad, counting by 10. Let's see. So there's 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Notice how Mrs. Toivola keeps writing the percent signs. 80%. And then move over just a little bit. And 90%. All right, but to answer the question, I don't need the percent on the top because I was given 30%. So instead, I need the number that goes on the bottom of 30% at the end of what I colored. So to get that, I have to go back to the whole for the number on the bottom. The number on the bottom was 80, and we cut the whole bar into 10. So I'm going to write 80, got split into 10 equal parts. I know there are 8 10s in 80, so that means I should be counting by 8 on the bottom. Copy that and paste. So 8. If you needed to use a calculator, you could, but I'm good at skip counting by 8s. 8, 16, 24, but I'm going to keep on going because I have to make sure that I get to 80 at the end. Otherwise, I did something wrong. 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, plus 8 is in fact 80. So that does work. So my answer is 24. I'm going to take off that question mark above what number is. My answer is 24. And I get that answer from looking down below 30%. 24 was in that box.